So come on in, take a sip. Let's wind down. It's we got a Wednesday Guardian Cryptic to get into, and yes, I signed into my browser today. Checked the date even. Still kind of smarting over that Monday error. Talk about amateur stuff, right? But my Shotzi picked up a bottle of Tuella. This is a Portuguese wine, and I've seen it all over Europe, including the UK. And it is a wonderful go-to, but this is a 2022, and in Portuguese, 2022. I think I said that kind of correctly. I have a lot of work to do on my Portuguese, but opened this up right before we did the New York Times, and it is wonderful because you get your typical sunny Portuguese cassis that you can come to find in Spain and Italy and so on, and southern parts of France. But it's very interesting. I'm getting a nectarine or an apricot, something like that. Not quite full on peach, but something very similar and refreshing to that. So on the nose, it's extremely appealing. And on the palate, it's had a bit to calm down. It's been sitting in this bottle for about 3 years, but it is just just very slightly tannic. So therefore open to anything, but it's beautifully dry, but it keeps the fruit on the nose. It's just a wonderful experience. It finishes so cleanly. It's about an €8 bottle. It's just not enough to set anybody back anything. And that's one of the things I love about living here on the continent, because you really can get your hands on wines that would cost you well into the $80, $90 region for around 8 to 15 euros here. And it's incredibly affordable. And it allows me to be able to say, that bottle was so good, I'll get 3 for tonight, kind of a thing, right? You know, unless I start throwing martinis and scotches in there, then it gets a little wonky. Maybe I drink a bottle or something, right? But tonight I'm gonna have a martini. When I get out of my evening shower, I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna watch the last Ludwig. I think we've got one left to go. It'll be a rewatch for me, but I never get tired of them. And I've been really looking forward to having a Vesper martini, dry, right? You know, so I'm going to skip the lemon and go with the olive. But I do believe this time I'm going to put a drop of soy sauce in it with a little bit of the bitters. I always like to use I like to use any number of them, but the lettuce bitters are great. I love the cucumber bitters, right? They're just wonderful. All the savory bitters make it fabulous. But that soy sauce really... maybe it's the MSG, I don't know, but it really brings out the flavor. So I'm excited about it. I'll give everyone a full book report tomorrow. So let's go ahead and hop into our grid. We've got a Guardian Cryptic Crossword number 29712. And again, for June, this one's set by Imogen. So let's go ahead and hop in and see what we've got. Taking picture for retirement. Taking picture for retirement. Sitting at the traffic lights, spot some drama. Okay. Sitting at the traffic lights, spot some drama. Round area, providers of hot and cold snacks. Hot and cold snacks. I'm not going to get hors d'oeuvres in there, so why don't we go with some tapas, see what that leads for us. Didn't do anything there whatsoever. So sex-obsessed pair taken out and shot. Okay. Controls big problem with app to be fixed by this. Kindles to deposit aboard ship. Kindles, maybe sparks. Okay. Controls big problem with app to be fixed by this. This could be to reinstall. And that does happen on occasion. Though more often than not, I just restart my phone. And that generally helps SIRI. I do not want to wake her up. Sitting at the traffic light spots some drama. Sex obsessed. Pair taking out shot. I don't know. These are lining up. Green coach losing time. Green coach, green. What? We have a vegetable, we have a herb. Do we have a newbie? An inexperienced one, i.e. a greenhorn? Coach. Are we talking about a team? Are we talking about like a stagecoach? Like a car or a limo? Losing time. Losing time. Whatever we got here, I think that would indicate, from what I've learned so far, that maybe you're going to lose a T in something else. So, have no idea just yet. Injury, odd French fellows you eventually get. Odd French fellows. Loudly announced large contribution to year-end target. Year-end target. Okay, I have an aim. Got 7 letters. I think I got an aim in here maybe. I don't know how. It's just from the target. So I think AIM. Maybe. I don't know. Repeatedly articles about loaf crusts as fodder. I have no idea what that is. I don't know if my aim is going to work. Inspectors of pub measures said to have teeth. Inspectors of pub measures said to have teeth. So I've got 8 letters, and that could be bicuspid and incisor are 7. So if we made them plural, as in teeth, either could work, bicuspids or incisors. So that does not help. Trouble if such a plant appears. Oh, come on. I got to have something to play with here. Dope that creates a big stink. How about skunkweed? Maybe that's what it is. That stuff does stink. Well, I mean, is it stink any more than a bottle of Heineken or Stella Artois? Beck's, St. Pauli girl? I mean, you get that kind of skunky thing. I guess it doesn't really stink. It just has a very specific aroma. Particular odor. Request submitted to obtain seal. Request. Ask. Submitted to obtain seal. Ask. Seal. Gasket. 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 It's gotta be gasket. Please tell me it's gasket. Trouble if such a plant appears. No. Okay. Nothing there. Do we have anything in? Injury. Odd French fellows eventually get. Man. Okay. Unserious proposals that scatter specious glitter. No. Teeth. It couldn't. Bicuspids would not work. It would be bicuspid. So these are incisors. Yeah, hoisted by my own petard almost there. Trouble if such a plant appears. Unserious proposals? No. Injury odd French fellows eventually get. It's like it could be impairment, right? Maybe. Impairment. What do we got here? Unserious proposals that scatter specious glitter. Garment for water sport. Garment, 4 letters. Garment, water sport. Polo. Water polo, maybe. Gong. you had responded to. Responded to. Aggressive using handwriting. Aggressive handwriting. Run over one day, got into argument. I don't have room for barneyed, so maybe rowed. Humble. Low. Grow up in such blocks. Low-rise apartments. Low-rise. Humble. Grow up. Low-rise. Got it. This makes me feel good. This may be the. This is really not my day for this, is it? Pupil barrister turning up in case foolishly laughs. Foolishly laughs. Pupil barrister. Foolishly laughs, though. Foolishly. Is this what we're cackling? Cackles? Aggressive. I was thinking handwriting. I was thinking maybe it's something to do with cursive. It is. How about but in cursive to cover the aggression here. So in cursive. And that would be gong you had responded to would be maybe perhaps obeyed. So we have a little obeisance in here today, but the gong part, gong, you had responded to. Oh, is this like when somebody rings the bell for service? Is that what we're talking about? Because I've heard of a gong as in, say, a medal. It was the Armistice Day. It was Veterans Day. Yeah, it was November 11th. I was at the Dover. I was at the Best Western in Dover. I'd even gotten my favorite room, which is right there on the. I can't remember if y'all used 0 for the first floor, like the ground floor, and then 1 or 2, but it was on the first level floor up from the ground. And they had 3 or 4 of them there, and they have nice little balconies on it and a beautiful view of the channel. And I like to stay there when I drive into England because it's just so nice, you know, and I know everybody and the restaurant's decent. But I'd been there 2 months before. They said, if you're coming on November 11th, mate, bring your formal mess uniform. And so I did. I brought my Army mess uniform. And they had a big dinner. I got to hang out with everybody, and they were asking me about my various gongs on my lapel of my mess uniform. So it's kind of fun hanging out there. In fact, I met one British doctor who had been a major in the United States Army. But that's just, I mean, he just apparently went to medical school in the United States, and he paid for it by going into the Army for 6 years, and then he went back to England to practice medicine. So, good on them. So, this unserious proposals that scatter specious glitter. This looks like politics to me. And I guess unserious, maybe even specious. This could be gesture politics, which is something that we've all gotten maybe more used to than we should have to. And that's opened up this to be maybe that fuchsia shrub, that plant, that bush, whatever you call it. I can see it, I just don't remember how to say it. Repeatedly, articles about loaf crusts as fodder. And fodder could be alfalfa, but I want to figure out how we got to that incredible clue. Repeatedly, articles about loaf crusts. So the crusts of loaf would be LF. So we have maybe an iambic here. We got a LFA, LFA. So this is alfalfa, maybe because of the loaf. I don't know, but I feel like I'm gonna sneeze. I don't know what's going on, if it's just the allergies or what, but they are pretty bad this time of year, and I don't know what we've got growing around here. Something. Feels like ragweed back in the States. I don't know if Germany has ragweed or not. Taking picture for is this withdrawing? Just taking picture withdrawing. It's kind of wanting to come out of my mouth, so let's see. Okay, loudly announce large contributions could be to declaim. So there we go. Now I'm feeling really good about this. Is this priapic, as in phallic? I wouldn't throw it past the Guardian. Sitting at traffic lights, spots some drama. We've got probably got waiting in here. Waiting, I put that in there. But I'm really worried about this right here. Green coach losing time. I think we have a stage and then we've lost the T. And that makes me feel like $1,000,000 because £1,000,000 because I've kind of spotted that. Now, granted, I know losing time is kind of a given to you real vets from this, but I'm picking it up a little bit, maybe a little bit. Watch me be wrong, as I'll get out and totally get hosed. History of Gauguin's final piece, shown to be expert about it. Father Zeus, say at a temple. Temple. Could be a shrine. I keep wanting to say a temple, but temple's in the clue. So, enormous number 10 short for writer. 10 short. Maybe, are we talking about Google and a Gogol? That's the 10th power to something, right? I always thought it was a Google. Father Zeus, say at a temple. Well, wait, okay, I guess if we're talking Asian, maybe a pagoda? Zeus, God, and then maybe Pa? Pa as in dad, maybe a father. And what do we... Sitting at the traffic light, spot some drama, 7, 3, and 5. I think we've got Samuel Beckett here. I think we're talking about Waiting for Godot, which was, oh my gosh, one of my favorites. It's a wonderful little, what, one-act play? I can't remember. It's been my freshman year of undergrad last time I read it. And was it Burgess Meredith that actually did the show? It was like it was televised or filmed or something. Family man is captivated by artist's extremes. One's a shocker, so probably Dadaist. I always think primarily of Marcel Duchamp, but I would definitely be a fan of the Dada movement. An officer interrupts myself 3 times when gong is heard. myself 3 times. Gong is heard. History of Gauguin's final piece, shown to be expert about it. And I think we're talking the history, right? You know, origins, maybe provenance. When gong is heard, so maybe mealtime. I gotta tell you, Imogen, this is pretty cleverly constructed today. A name of Scott's celebrity, and I know y'all have that one racer, Alistair, and I am really very much into those 2 forms of racing. I can't watch NASCAR. I mean, it's just a bunch of good old boys turning left at 200 miles an hour. I mean, 185, something like that, right? But man, when you get into Formula, anything, pole positioning, but yeah, you get the Formula cars or the yacht races, the regattas. Oh my gosh. And it's sad to say, but like at America's Cup, I'm always rooting for, like, you know, New Zealand or, you know, the UK. I mean, you got the coolest uniforms, especially last year. What was that gray stuff that the Americans were wearing? Quality vineyard and depression in these awful religious wars. It's like the Crusades, doesn't it? So, yeah, I think we might have gotten through this thing, but to be honest with you, I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, at first you'd think I'd feel really good, but I don't know. I don't know. We got most of them. I didn't do a lot of guessing. I don't know. I think let's just check them all and see how we did. How'd we do, Bob? Come on, Bob. How'd we do, Bob? I don't see any holes. I don't. Now, I am looking. If you see one, then please point it out to me. Oh, it'll be disturbing. And it might set me off into an uncontrollable depression for a few hours, but it's better to know the truth. And so, waiting for Godot, Sparks, Pagoda. Oh, what a beautiful grid, Imogen. Imogen, if one of y'all would let me give an interview, it would be kind of cool. I could get to know you. We can mask your face. We can do that dark thing, like when someone's a victim or they're like a whistleblower. We can change your voice and put a dark shade, you know, so no one has to see. But it's pretty cool stuff. I'm absolutely loving it. This was a fantastic grid. I gotta say, waiting for Godot really was interesting. More interesting than that is pre-epic. Sex obsessed. When I think of priapism, I'm thinking of being in a certain state that you can't get rid of. So yeah, that's crazy. I loved how Gasket came together. But waiting for Godot, that was the best part. And like I said, I just need to figure out the pre-epic and sex obsessed versus what I think it's a condition from maybe taking too many little blue pills. But nevertheless, priapism or not, it was interesting. the grid altogether was fabulous. Very cleverly set. Imogen, we'll bring down our Benny Yard down too. And I just want to say thank you to the folks who have been sending super thanks to the cup of coffee or the wine, whatever. It's a small gesture. I know, I get that, but it's a huge gesture to me, and I really do appreciate it. It says that we're doing something right here, and really am just loving watching the community grow, and it's just been nothing more than fabulous. And Shotzi and I both just think it's the coolest thing in the world. What was just kind of a little dare that she made to me in August of 2023 is turning into something that's pretty big, and we're really enjoying it. I would have thought that we were already at the extent to which we had garnered such a clique and just a niche market, right? You know, who loves wine and crosswords? I mean, it can't be that many folks, but it seems like we're just keep growing, and it's just an amazing process, and it really truly is humbling. And it's very rewarding. So thank you all for that very much. And until we see you tomorrow, for the Thursday And sadly, the penultimate grid for the week for us on The Guardian. Und ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin, bis später, bis morgen, bis dann. Try to be nice to strangers if you can stomach it at all whatsoever, and we will see you on the morrow. Cheers.